Let's get started. You can come to a nice, comfortable seat, whatever that feels like for you. And you can close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. And simply begin to notice your breath. Watch as it flows in and out of the body. And let your awareness wash over the body. Each inhale filling with loving awareness. Each exhale, ground yourself into the earth. With your next inhale, press down through your sit bones to grow a little longer through your spine. And with your exhale, you might roll the shoulders down your back. You might begin to deepen your inhales and lengthen your exhales. And as we move through class, I invite you to stay in this place of loving awareness. I invite you to stay in the space of the observer, simply watching the breath, watching the body move in and out of the postures. We'll bring our hands to prayer at heart center. And take a big breath in and out. Big breath in. Cleansing exhale out. Breathe into Om or to listen. You might keep your eyes closed or allow the gaze to softly gaze at the ground. We'll bring the left hand down to the mat. With an inhale, right arm reaches up for a big side body stretch. Reaching the fingertips up towards the side of the room. With an inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, opposite side. Right arm drops, left arm reaches over. Inhale, come back to the center. And we'll bring the hands to the tops of the shoulders. Gently roll the shoulders out. And as you do this, what would it feel like to match your breath with your movements? And we'll take it back the opposite direction. Full, slow breaths here. And release the hands down to the ground, and we'll roll over the shins to come into our tabletop. Hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath your hips. With an inhale, we'll drop the belly, lift your heart and your tail. Exhale to round through your spine. Continue this. Moving with your breath. Maybe you tuck the chin at the end. Slowly wake up the spine here. We'll come back to a neutral spine and gently wag the tail side to side, making a C shape with the spine. We're drawing the shoulder towards the hip and looking over the shoulder. And we'll come back to a neutral spine. You might roll out the neck. Maybe you stretch the wrists and the forearms, flipping the fingers to face the knees. Notice, can you stay in that same full, expansive breath that we began class with? And when you're ready, we'll tuck the toes and send our hips up and back for downward facing dog. First down dog of class, you might pedal out your heels. Maybe you sway your hips and nod your head yes and no. Any little movements are welcome here as you begin to prepare the body to practice. With an inhale, we'll look in between our hands. Exhale to tiptoe the feet forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. The knees can bend generously. You might grab opposite elbows and nod the head yes and no. If you'd like to open up the chest, you might clasp your hands behind your back and squeeze the shoulder blades together. And gently unclasp the hands with an inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Root down through your feet. Inhale, sweep all the way to standing, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, twist to your right, arms reach out in T. You might press the right hip towards the front of the room. And inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, opposite side. This time, left hip presses towards the front of the room. Inhale, come back to the center. Hinge at your hips with an exhale, forward fold it down. Inhale as you lengthen, halfway lift, making a number 7 with the body. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back to plank pose. And with your exhale, we'll chaturanga down. Option to lower the knees down first. Belly, chest, and thigh all land at the same time with an inhale, cobra or up dog, your choice. And exhale, downward facing dog. You might pedal out your heels again, nod the head. You might enjoy taking a bend in both of your knees and then use that bend to press your sit bones up and back towards the ceiling, creating length down the back of the legs. With an inhale, reach the right heel to the sky, big stretch. Exhale, Anjaneyasana. We'll step in between the hands, lower the back knee to the earth. With an inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, cactus your arms and shine your heart. Inhale to reach it up. Exhale, twist open towards your lunging leg. Arms are out in T. Inhale, drop the back arm, front arm reaches up to reverse. And exhale, back to your twist. Inhale, right arm sweeps down and around, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. We'll straighten through the front leg. Maybe you point and flex the foot, gently waking up the top of the foot and the shins. Can you stay with your breath here? And with your next exhale, bend up your front knee. Hands come to frame the front foot. We'll tuck the back toes and lift the knee. And exhale, step your front foot back and move through your vinyasa. Inhale to cobra or up dog, your choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Full breaths in through the nose, maybe out through the nose. With an inhale, reach the left heel to the sky, big stretch. Exhale, step in between the hands, Anjaneyasana, lower the back knee to the earth. With an inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, twist, open towards your lunging leg, arms are out in T. Option to drop the back hand, front arm reaches up to reverse. Exhale, back to your twist. Inhale, sweep the left arm down and around, Anjaneyasana. And exhale, send the hips to the heels, half splits. We'll straighten through the front leg. Your hands can come down to frame the foot. They might also come up on your blocks or maybe your pillows to give you a little extra length through the spine. With your next exhale, we'll bend up the front knee. Hands come to frame the front foot. Tuck the back toes and lift your knee. Exhale, step the front foot back, and we'll chaturanga down. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. You might enjoy a lion's breath here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Maybe you stick the tongue out, shake out the head. Let it go. With an inhale, shift your weight forward to plank pose. Shoulders come over the wrists. The core is engaged. We're pressing the ground away. Upper back is engaged. Take one more inhale here. With your exhale, shift the weight forward. Slow chaturanga all the way down. Once the belly touches the ground, untuck the toes, press the tops of the feet into the mat. Pubic bone presses down, engage your core. Cobra with your inhale, lift your chest. And exhale to lower down. You're welcome to take cobra again, or maybe you take locust, this time's hands. Rest beside the thighs. We'll squeeze the inner thighs together, engage your core, and with an inhale, lift the chest, lift the thighs. The breath is full and slow. Back of the neck is long. One more inhale to lift. And exhale to lower down. You might bring the hands to stack underneath your chin. And then bend up the knees. We'll windshield wiper the legs side to side, back and forth. Gently release the feet back down to the mat. Hands underneath your shoulders. We'll press up to a tabletop. And tuck your toes, send the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Full breaths in, slow exhales out. Inhale, reach the right heel to the sky, big stretch. Exhale to bend your knee and stack your hips open. You might roll out the ankle, or maybe you open up your hip joint, drawing circles in the air with your knee. Inhale as you square your hips and straighten the knee. Crescent Warrior with your exhale. Soft step in between the hands. Engage through the inner thighs, and with an inhale, we'll sweep the torso up. We're up high on the ball of the back foot. Inner thighs are squeezing together. The left leg and glute are engaged. We'll drop the right arm. Left arm reaches over. Big side body stretch. Inhale, come back to the center. With an exhale, step the back foot up just slightly for our pyramid pose. We'll widen our stance. Feet are about hip width distance apart. Engage your core, and with an exhale, we'll hinge the torso down. We've got weight evenly distributed between both feet, and the baby's bend is in the right knee to protect the joint. Core is engaged, spine is long. We're lengthening down the back of the right leg. Engage your core, and with an inhale, hinge your torso all the way up. Bring weight into the right foot, and with an exhale, draw the left knee into the chest. Stay with your breath. Your gaze might focus on something in the room that's not moving, maybe a spot on the floor or on the wall. And when you're ready, we'll flex the toes towards your knee, cross your shin over your thigh, Ekapada Uttanasana, one-legged chair. You might begin to sit your hips back like you were sitting into a chair. Keep your chest high. Can you stay with your breath as we open up the hip? And with an inhale, we'll press the torso back up. Draw your knee to your chest. We'll bring the right hand to the top of the knee. With an exhale, twist the torso open, giving the internal organs a squeeze. Option to bind the outside edge of the leg to extend it out long, maybe not. And inhale, come back to the center. With your exhale, Crescent Warrior, float your foot back. Inhale, arms sweep up. And exhale, Lizard, hands down inside of your lunging leg. You might heel toe the right foot out. You might keep your back knee lifted. Maybe you lower it down to the earth. It's up to you. Maybe you lower down to your forearms, or one forearm, one palm. Let each breath draw in awareness. And with each exhale, can you soften into the posture? And from forearms, we'll press back up to palms. Tuck your back toe to lift your knee. We'll step the front foot back and exhale, Chaturanga down. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Big breath in. Slow exhales out. Inhale, left heel reaches high. Exhale to bend your knee and stack your hips open. Again, you might roll out the ankle or open up your hip joint. Stay with your breath. With an inhale, square your hips and straighten your knee. Crescent Warrior with your exhale, soft step between the hands. Engage through the legs and inhale, sweep the torso up. The legs are engaged, the core is on, and with your exhale, drop the left arm, right arm reaches over for a side body stretch. Inhale, come back to the center. Uttanasana, pyramid pose. With an exhale, step your back foot up just slightly. We'll widen our stance like you were standing on railroad tracks. Core is engaged. With an exhale, hinge your torso down. The hips are staying nice and square to the front of the mat. Weight is evenly distributed between my feet. Engage the core, and with an inhale, hinge the torso back up. Bring weight into the left foot and draw the right knee to the chest. Rising to balancing, take your time as you move. We'll come into our one-legged chair, Ekapada Uttanasana. Flex the toes towards your knee, cross your shin over your thigh. Maybe you begin sitting down like you were sitting into a chair, keeping the chest nice and lifted. Can you stay with your breath? Root down through the left foot, press the torso up. We'll draw the knee into the chest. And exhale, left hand to the top of the knee. We'll twist the torso open. Option to stay here. Maybe you bind the outside edge of the foot to extend the leg long. Maybe not today. And inhale, come back to the center. Crescent Warrior with your exhale. Slowly float the foot back. Take your time. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, hands down inside of the lunging leg. We'll heel toe the left foot out. Maybe you keep the back knee lifted. Maybe you lower it down to the earth. It's up to you. Full, slow breaths as you soften into the posture. In Sanskrit, the postures are called asana. And asana translates to mean a comfortable seat. So how can you find a comfort and ease through the postures? From forearms, we'll press up to palms. We'll tuck the back toes and lift the knee. Step the front foot back, but pause in your plank. From palms, we'll lower down to our forearms. Coming into a forearm plank, you can choose to stay right here, or we'll tiptoe the feet forward, coming into our dolphin, into our shoulder and back strengthening. We're pressing the ground away through the elbows. Breath is staying full and long. And we'll walk the feet back to forearm plank. One more inhale here. As you exhale, lower your hips to the earth, coming into a Sphinx Pose. Untuck the toes. Elbows are underneath your shoulders. We'll draw the heart through your arms as you lengthen through the abdomen. And exhale to lower down. We'll bring the hands underneath your shoulders. Press all the way back to child's pose. Knees can be together or apart. As you inhale here, can you expand through your back body? And as you exhale, can you melt into the mat? Inhale, press to your tabletop. And we'll tuck the toes, send the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Inhale, right heel reaches high. Exhale to bend your knee and stack your hips open. You're welcome to stay here, reaching the foot as far to the left as it goes without flipping. Or if you'd like to come into Wild Thing, we'll shift our shoulders over the wrists and then moving with intention. Take your time as you flip. Foot touches down, hips lift, chest is open. And when you're ready, move with intention. Take it back around. Inhale to square your hips and straighten your knee. Warrior 2 with your exhale, soft step between the hands. The back foot rotates parallel to the back edge and we'll cartwheel the arms open. Gaze is out over your front fingers. We're pressing down into the ball of the right foot, the pinky toe side of the back foot. With your inhale, flip the front palm and reverse your warrior. Exhale back, warrior 2. We'll straighten through the front knee, again, keeping the babyest bend in the knee to protect the joint. We'll reach long over the front leg. For Trikonasana, keep the core engaged. We'll stack the shoulders. Gaze can be up at the fingers or down at the mat. Again, weight is evenly distributed between both feet. Can you stay with your breath? Find a balance between strength and ease. Sitram and Sukha. With your next inhale, engage your core and hinge the torso up. Exhale, bend into the front knee, warrior 2. With an inhale, come onto the ball of the back foot. As you exhale, wrap the hip around, cartwheel your hands down to frame your front foot. With an inhale, reach the right heel up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale to your pigeon, draw your knee to your wrist. You can slide the leg back. You might start with a proud pigeon, walking the hands back and opening up the chest. Big inhale here. And when you're ready, we'll exhale and fold over the shin. If your forehead doesn't quite reach the mat, you can stack your fists and then rest your forehead on top of your fists. Or if you have a block, pillows, or blankets around, you're welcome to stack those up and rest your head there. And I invite you to stay fully present here, fully alive in each breath as it travels in and out of your body. And from forearms, we'll press back up to palms. Hands are underneath your shoulders. Tuck your back toes to lift your knee. And with an inhale, send the hips up and back. Three-legged dog. You can bend and straighten the knee. Wake up the hip. And when you're ready, downward facing dog. Inhale, left heel reaches high. Exhale to bend your knee and stack your hips open. Again, you might let the foot fall as far to the right without flipping, finding a stretch. Or if you'd like to find your wild thing, shift your shoulders over your wrists. And then we'll flip, moving slowly. How softly can the foot touch down? Hips are reaching, chest is open. And we'll use our exhale and our core to wrap the torso back around. Inhale to square your hips and straighten the knee. Warrior two with your exhale. Step in between the hands. Back heel rotates all the way down. And with an inhale, cartwheel the arms open. The knee is tracing over the second to third toe. Stay with your breath. We'll flip the front palm. Inhale as you reverse your warrior. Big side body stretch. And exhale back, warrior two. We'll straighten through the front knee, core stays engaged, baby bend in the knee. We'll reach long over the front leg, keep length through both the right and left sides of the body. And we'll exhale, stack the shoulders on top of each other. Fingertips are reaching to the sky and down towards the earth. The collarbones are broad. Engage your core, and with an inhale, hinge the torso back up. Exhale, warrior two. With your inhale, come onto the ball of your back foot. As you exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame your front foot. With an inhale, left heel reaches up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale to pigeon, draw your knee to your left wrist. You can slide the left leg back. Maybe you start with your proud pigeon, walking the hands back to open up the chest and the right hip flexor. And with your exhale, we'll slowly fold over the shin. You might even imagine that the whole body could expand and contract with each breath. Can you feel the breath move through even the tiniest parts of your body? Each bone, each muscle, even each cell, all expanding and contracting with your breath. And from forearms, we'll press back up to palms. Hands are underneath our shoulders. Tuck your back toes to lift your knee. And with an inhale, hips reach up and back, three-legged dog. You can bend and straighten the knee. And downward facing dog when you're ready. And with an exhale, we'll lower the knees to the earth, hips reach to the heels, take a child's pose, arms reach out long. If you'd like to stretch through the triceps, you might bend up at the elbows, bring the hands to prayer, and then rest your prayer hands behind your head. If you have your blocks, you might even stack your elbows on top of your blocks. Release the hands back down. We'll bring them underneath the shoulders. Press the torso up. And we'll sit the sit bones down onto the mat. And extend the legs out long. Coming into a forward fold, we'll press down through the sit bones to grow long through the spine. Keep the knees nice and soft, and with an exhale, fold over the legs. Uttanasana. You might enjoy inhaling through your nose and exhaling out pursed lips like you were breathing out through a straw. This breath helps to naturally slow down the heart. It helps to slow down the rate of the breath. And it moves our nervous system from a sympathetic state, our fight or flight, into a parasympathetic state, which is our rest, repair, digest. And with an inhale, we'll press the torso back up. And bend up the right knee. We'll cross the right foot over the left, coming into a twist. We'll bring the right hand behind the hips. With an inhale, we'll lengthen through the spine like a flower growing towards the sun. And then with your exhale, we'll twist the torso open. Your hand might rest on your knee, or maybe your tricep crosses over your thigh. We're looking out over the shoulder. Maybe you're even looking into your peripheral vision as you twist. One more inhale to lengthen. And exhale to twist. And gently unwind. We'll extend the leg out long. And bend up the opposite knee. We'll come into the opposite side. Foot crosses over the right. We'll bring the left hand behind the hips. With an inhale, lengthen. And with your exhale, we'll twist. Twists are great for helping to move our digestion along and removing toxins from the body. They give our internal organs a gentle squeeze. One more inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist. And inhale, come back to the center. We'll release the legs. Bring the bottoms of the feet together, coming into our Supta Baddha Konasana. The hands can come to the inside of the feet, and we'll lengthen through the spine. With an inhale, draw your heart through your arms. And then with an exhale, we'll fold over the legs. You might choose to keep a nice long spine, or maybe you round through the spine and tuck the chin to the chest. It's up to you. Notice your breath here. Is it just as full and expansive as it was at the beginning of class? With an inhale, we'll press the torso up, bring the hands to the outside of the knees, and close the knees together. And then we'll lower all the way down onto our backs. You You can draw your knees into your chest and rock side to side, back and forth, releasing the low back. And we'll bring the feet down to the mat. Hands come down beside your hips. Feet and knees are hip-width distance apart. We'll press down through the feet and the tops of your shoulders. With an inhale, lift your hips for a bridge pose. As you breathe here, maybe you can see and even feel the belly expanding and contracting with your breath. Keep the hips pressing high. If you'd like more extension through the back, you might clasp your hands together and roll your shoulders underneath. And when you're ready, let an exhale float your hips all the way back down. We'll draw the knees back into the chest. And then bring the shins parallel to the ceiling. Knees are stacked over your hips. Your arms can reach out in T or cactus beside you. With an exhale, we'll lower the knees to the right side of the mat, coming into a spinal twist. Once the knees are down, we'll take the left arm and cross it all the way across the body. Bring your palms to stack on top of each other. And then with an exhale, we'll open back up into the twist. Your gaze might follow the left hand. Engage your core and draw your knees back to the center. And we'll take them over to the opposite side. Exhale to lower the knees down to the left. And then once they're down, we'll cross the right arm all the way over the body. Bring your palms to stack on top of each other. And then we'll open back up into the twist. Move with intention. The gaze might follow the right hand. Engage your core and draw the knees back to the center. And then wrap your arms around the tops of your shins. You can rock side to side, back and forth, releasing the low back. And if there's anything else that your body is asking for before coming into Shavasana, you're welcome to find that now. That might be a happy baby, hands grabbing the outside edges of the feet and drawing the knees down towards the earth. Maybe that's a supine Baddha Konasana, bottoms of the feet together and knees falling out to the sides. And when you're ready, you can extend the legs and the arms out long. can close your eyes and come into Shavasana, your final resting posture. And before we rest, we'll do one final thing. Squeeze up the face, the glutes, the thighs, the hands, the arms, everything. Give it a squeeze, 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 and release. You're welcome to take that as many times as you need. And then let your exhales wash over your body. Let the muscles melt into the mat. This is your opportunity to rest. maintaining the peace that you've cultivated. Gently begin bringing energy back into the body. You can wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe you deepen the breath. The arms reach overhead in a good morning stretch. And when you're ready, we'll meet in a comfortable seated position. And take a moment to close your eyes. And notice your breath once more. We'll bring our hands to prayer at heart center. And take a big breath in and out. Big breath in. Cleansing exhale out. Breathe into Om or to listen. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for showing up on your mats to practice with me. My name is Kelly, and I'm looking forward to practicing with you in the future. Have a great day.